Hello, my name is Kayla Herto, and today I will be presenting my problem of practice dissertation titled Balancing the Pendulum, a single case study of early career teachers' perspectives on the influence of pre-service education self-efficacy in teaching literacy in New York. I want to take a moment to acknowledge my advisor, Dr. Erin O'Connor Marsano, whose guidance and support over the past year have been invaluable. Teachers often leave their pre-service programs without the skills necessary to deliver effective, evidence-based literacy instruction. Given literacy's foundational role in early learning, elementary teachers require comprehensive training in multiple literacy components and assessment practices, scientific research on reading development, and extensive fieldwork with quality mentors to effectively support struggling readers. Literacy is foundational to all learning, yet preparation programs vary widely in how and whether they teach the core components of reading development. National evaluations of teacher preparation programs reveal concerning trends. A significant number of programs fail to address the five components of the science of reading adequately, and many continue to teach practices that directly contradict current evidence-based research. This gap is especially relevant in New York State, where evaluations of SUNY pre-service programs show that none fully address all five components of the science of reading, and many taught practices contrary to current evidence-based beliefs. These preparation gaps have direct consequences for early career teachers. As teacher self-efficacy begins developing during pre-service training, inadequate preparation can undermine teachers' confidence as they enter the classroom. Ultimately, this lack of preparation impacts students. When teachers are not equipped with evidence-based literacy practices, students, particularly struggling readers, are less likely to develop strong foundational reading skills. Given that a substantial proportion of students nationwide do not read proficiently by fourth grade, improving pre-service literacy preparation is not only a teacher education issue, but a broader educational and social concern. The purpose of the study was to explore how early career teachers with 1 to 5 years of experience perceive the influence of their pre-service education on their self-efficacy in teaching literacy. Given the critical role of early literacy in student success, there is a clear need to ensure that teachers across New York State are equipped with strong evidence-based instructional skills. Guided by Bandura's theory of self-efficacy, this study examined early career teachers' perceptions through 4 domains, using one central research question. How do early career teachers in New York perceive the influence of their pre-service education on their self-efficacy in teaching literacy? Bandura's self-efficacy theory provides the theoretical foundation for this study. Self-efficacy refers to an individual's belief in their ability to perform a task successfully. Bandura identified 4 key sources that shape these beliefs: mastery experiences, vicarious experiences, verbal persuasion, and physiological states. In teaching, self-efficacy develops through hands-on practice, observing others teach, receiving feedback and encouragement, and managing emotional responses such as confidence or stress, making self-efficacy a critical lens for understanding how pre-service preparation shapes teachers' readiness to teach literacy. My literature review examines trends in teaching literacy in the United States beginning in the 1700s, how the science of reading brings together scientifically supported literacy needs, the federal and New York State's regulations, standards, and accreditation for teaching literacy and teacher preparation, and how teacher self-efficacy in literacy instruction drives individuals' beliefs and choices. Reading instruction in the United States has long swung between phonics emphasizing systematic decoding and whole language, focusing on meaning and authentic literature. Jean Shaw's research laid the foundation for the science of reading, emphasizing a need for explicit phonics instruction. Federal and state policies from the No Child Left Behind to the Every Student Succeed Act, along with New York State's accreditation standards, aim to ensure teachers are prepared for evidence-based instruction. Teacher self-efficacy, shaped by pre-service experiences, observation, feedback, and mastery opportunities, is critical for effective literacy instruction and student outcomes, highlighting the need for comprehensive, research-based teacher preparation. It is a qualitative approach to explore early career teachers' perspectives on how their pre-service education influenced their self-efficacy in teaching literacy. A single holistic case study allowed for in-depth understanding of teachers with 1 to 5 years of experience who earned a master's degree in early childhood, or literacy education, and taught kindergarten through 2nd grade in New York State Public School. I selected 4 participants using purposeful sampling to focus on those who could provide rich insights on the shared phenomenon of pre-service literacy training. Data were collected in 3 phases: a qualitative questionnaire to capture initial perceptions, semi-structured interviews to explore experiences in depth, and a focus group to build further understanding and clarify perspectives. I aligned all data collection with Bandora's self-efficacy framework, focusing on mastery experiences, vicarious experiences, verbal persuasion, and physiological states. My study revealed 6 key themes regarding how early career teachers perceive the influence of their pre-service education on their self-efficacy and teaching literacy. Theme 1 emphasized that hands-on experiences are foundational to developing literacy self-efficacy. Participants described how direct engagement with students, early fieldwork, pre-service projects, and student teaching allowed them to translate theory into practice and build competence. Being observed by mentors and receiving feedback during these experiences further reinforced their sense of self-efficacy. Theme 2 highlighted gaps in pre-service preparation. Limited classroom time, insufficient literacy-specific coursework, and outdated curriculum reduced participants' self-efficacy and their ability to teach literacy. They expressed a need for more early and frequent opportunities to practice evidence-based literacy instruction, especially in areas like phonics and phonological awareness. Theme 3 focused on the importance of structured mentorship and observation. Watching experienced teachers model effective literacy practices helped participants learn to engage students, differentiate instruction, and adapt lessons for diverse learners. Mentorship provided guidance and reflection opportunities, reinforcing self-efficacy. Theme 4 underscored validation and growth through constructive feedback. Participants valued targeted feedback from mentors and supervisors, which helped them refine their instructional practices and strengthen their self-efficacy and teaching literacy. Theme 5 highlighted the influence of emotions. Anxiety, stress, and discouragement reduced self-efficacy, while positive emotions like pride and confidence strengthened it. Physiological states were closely linked to participants' perceptions of their ability to teach literacy effectively. Theme 6 emerged from participants' reflections, which revealed that external influences, including factors such as student preparedness, student motivation, and family involvement, affected teachers' perceived self-efficacy, demonstrating that elements beyond pre-service preparation can shape confidence in literacy instruction. In conclusion, this study found that early career teachers perceive the pre-service education as influential in developing their self-efficacy in teaching literacy, particularly when it involves hands-on experiences, mentorship, observation, and constructive feedback. However, gaps in literacy-specific coursework and limited classroom practice reduce teachers' self-efficacy and their preparedness. Overall, the results suggest that strengthening pre-service literacy programs with more practical, evidence-based experiences can better support teacher self-efficacy and effectiveness in literacy instruction. The findings of the study illustrate that early career teachers' self-efficacy to teach literacy is shaped by a complex interaction of hands-on experiences, mentorship, feedback, emotional factors, and contextual influences, all of which align closely with Bandora's 1977 self-efficacy framework. Across the themes, mastery experiences emerge as the strongest contributor to self-efficacy, as participants consistently emphasize that authentic, hands-on teaching opportunities, particularly early fieldwork and student teaching, were critical for building self-efficacy and instructional competence. These findings converge with existing research that underscores the importance of applied practice, professional knowledge development, and instructional success in strengthening teacher self-efficacy. At the same time, participants identified significant gaps in pre-service preparation, particularly limited exposure to evidence-based literacy instruction, such as phonics and phonological awareness. This finding aligns with national research suggesting that many teacher preparation programs inadequately address the core components of reading instruction. However, this study diverges from earlier research suggesting that newer teachers feel more prepared in literacy instruction, indicating persistent variability across preparation programs. The findings also highlight the importance of vicarious experiences and verbal persuasion, as structured mentorship, observation of experienced teachers, and constructive feedback significantly strengthen participants' self-efficacy. These results align with prior research emphasizing the role of mentoring relationships and targeted feedback in teacher development. Finally, the study extends existing literature by identifying external contextual factors such as student readiness and family involvement as additional influences on teacher self-efficacy, highlighting the need for future research in this area. This study identified 5 key decision-making groups. When programs failed to intentionally address all 4 sources of self-efficacy, teacher self-efficacy and competence suffer. To address this, I recommend earlier and more frequent field placements, structured mentorship and observation with actionable feedback, updated coursework aligned with evidence-based literacy instruction, and intentional attention to Bandora's 4 sources of self-efficacy. Early career teachers enter districts with varying levels of literacy self-efficacy. Structured mentorship, observation of expert teachers, and ongoing professional development aligned with the science of reading are critical. Districts should provide sustained science of reading aligned professional learning, extend mentorship beyond the first year, and include observation, guided practice, and reflective feedback. Participants reported uneven access to hands-on practice, mentorship, feedback, and evidence-based coursework, revealing gaps between accreditation standards and implementation. Accrediting bodies should collaborate with SUNY institutions to establish clear, research-aligned expectations, conduct statewide program reviews, support ongoing faculty learning, and ensure alignment with the 5 components of the science of reading. Inconsistent access to mentorship and feedback can hinder early career teachers' literacy self-efficacy. Teachers should pursue ongoing science of reading aligned professional development, while a union should advocate for high-quality mentoring, observation cycles, and professional learning communities that strengthen instructional effectiveness. Finally, areas beyond Bandora's 1977 self-efficacy theory were identified through data sources. Future research should explore factors beyond teacher preparedness, such as student motivation, parental involvement, and school readiness, as well as mentorship models, feedback practices, and the lasting impact of COVID-19. Understanding these variables can guide improvements that strengthen teacher resilience and literacy instruction. This study had 5 main limitations that may affect the generalizability. First, the restricted availability of early career elementary teachers limited the range of perspectives. Second, the participant group was all young female teachers, reducing gender diversity. Third, participants represented only 2 SUNY schools, limiting the representation of pre-service programs across New York. Fourth, participants were concentrated in a small geographic area, which may not reflect broader regional differences. Fifth, varying student teaching experiences due to the COVID-19 pandemic, including in-person, hybrid, and fully online placements, may have influenced pre-service preparation. The study also had 3 delimitations. It used purposeful sampling to focus on participants with shared experiences, limited participants to kindergarten through 2nd grade teachers with 1 to 5 years of experience, and restricted the geographic focus to New York State. Collectively, these limitations and delimitations clarify the study's scope and help contextualize the findings. The findings of the study will be shared with key decision makers to strengthen teacher preparation and literacy instruction. For researchers in literacy education, results will be disseminated through journal publications and conference presentations in outlets such as the Journal of Teacher Education, Reading Research Quarterly, and The Reading Teacher. For educational leadership in Northern New York State, findings will be presented at regional conferences including the North Country Administrators Conference to inform superintendents and building principals about early career teacher skill gaps and professional development needs. Teacher and teacher union leaders will be engaged through presentations at FEH and SLL BOCES, highlighting evidence-based practices, ongoing professional development in the science of reading, and strategies that support teacher self-efficacy. For SUNY leadership, findings will be shared at SUNY Quad to identify pre-service program strengths and areas for improvement. Finally, accrediting bodies such as the CAEP will receive an executive summary and a 30-minute presentation to inform program evaluation and continuous improvement efforts.